Okay, I'm here to record question 2018 AP exam. The question number is question 5, and it's a very typical problem in terms of I have a graph. Probably going to be finding values under the curve, average something. But you'll notice the AP now really wants two things to happen for you. They want you to know your values of sine and cosine, and they want you to know generic rules for quotient, product, and chain rule. It just means without actual functions in there. So the big thing to remember about the sine and cosine graphs are the values they move through. Sine is 0 at 0, and then goes up to 1, 0, -1, 0. Those are the values of sine. And they cycle through every 90 degrees. If you can't remember 90 degrees in radians, 90 degrees in radians is pi over 2, where pi is 180. Cosine starts in Canada. Cosine starts at 1. So then it goes down to 0, down to -1, up to 0, up again to 1. Basically, if you know the sine of something is 0, you know the cosine of something is 1 or -1, and vice versa on cosines. That's going to come into play in our problems. Let's go take a look at the first problem here. Okay, so here's part A of our problem. F of x equals e to the x cosine x. Notice we have no calculator, which means they don't care about decimals. They just want us to get numbers. It says find the average rate of change. Rate of change. Joe, do you know what rate of change is? That's right, Joe. It's slope. Slope is rate of change. And what's the formula for slope? Fib, fa, ba. Fib, fa, ba. Now, Joe's complaining, like, I don't want to find all the values of these things. Joe, you don't have to. You just got to fill in the symbols that they give you. So, for example, if I want the slope between 0 and pi, or average slope, I'm going to literally fill those things in. Do my b minus a on the bottom, pi on the bottom, minus 0 on the bottom, and I'm going to fill in pi into the equation. E to the pi, cosine pi, minus e to the 0, cosine 0. That's it, Joe. You don't have to fill in the numbers. If you really feel you need to, you can find those values. They don't want you to find them. They just want you to do that. They want us to know what is the slope of the line tangent to the graph f at x equals 3 pi over 2. Let's look at the graph. Is this graph f? Oh, this graph isn't f. I can't use that graph yet. They want the slope of the line tangent to the graph. They want the slope. Well, Joe knows slope is fib fa. Joe also knows slope is derivative. So that's right, Joe. They want me to take the derivative of this function and find the slope of it at x equals 3 pi over 2. I need a blank page to work on this one. So if f of x equals e to the x cosine x, I'm going to do this from the long way. This is a product rule. There's u and there's v. So it's u prime v plus uv prime. So f prime of x equals u prime, e to the x v, plus u. Oh, I got it together, sorry. Derivative of cosine of x is negative sine of x. If you don't put those parentheses down that way, you will get the problem wrong. They want f prime at 3 pi over 2. So Joe's just going to fill in that number. E to the 3 pi over 2. Cosine of 3 pi over 2. Plus e to the 3 pi over 2. In parentheses, minus sine of 3 pi over 2. You just have to fill in the numbers. They don't care if you work it out to a decimal or something simplified. Well, I wrote something down because Joe said it out loud. I messed up on it. It shouldn't be 3 pi over 3. It should be 3 pi over 2. Next time, I've got to be more careful about listening to what Joe says. Okay, we're going to go on to the next part of the problem. I'm going to bring up the question page. Okay. Find the absolute minimum value of f on the interval 0 to 2 pi and justify your answer. Okay, so as we go on these parts, they get a little bit harder. I'm going to go down, bring up a blank page. So they want me to find out when this graph is an absolute minimum. So I'm going to write a little information on here. Absolute minimum is either at an endpoint or at a turning point. Okay? And the endpoints are easy. They're telling me we have to look at 0 through 2 pi. So literally, I would fill those numbers in to start with into the function, the original function, because those are going to be the values of the graph. So f of 0 is going to be e to the 0 times the cosine of 0. So here you have to know, like I said, your features. Cosine of 0 is 1. E to the 0 is 1, so f of 0 is 1. They're not going to make you do weird decimal math. It's always going to be nice numbers. F of 2 pi is going to be e to the 2 pi times the cosine of 2 pi. So already Joe's a little concerned that he's not going to get that one right because he doesn't know how to find e to the 2 pi. Don't worry about it, Joe. It's going to be okay. The question is, what is the cosine of 2 pi? Cosine starts on top at 1. Goes to 0, -1, 0, 1. In a whole cycle, it's going to be 1. So it's e to the 2 pi times 1, which is e to the 2 pi. So already I know the minimum is not going to be this one, because this value is bigger than that value. So it may be 1, but I have to check the endpoints. I have to check where the derivative is 0 and see what the value is there. Seems like a lot of steps? Absolutely. Okay. Let's say we're going to make a number line graph of this function. But whenever you're working with a derivative, it's always best to work in factored form, meaning take out anything they both have in common. And Joe just told me they both have an e to the x in common. And then it's cosine x minus sine of x. I'll make a number line graph. Okay, so the question is, when can these things be 0? This can never be 0. So there's no 0 values between 0 and 2 pi. So the other question is when can this be equal to 0? And it's a relationship that comes up a bunch on calc. When can cosine of x minus sine of x be equal to 0? Well, they can only be true when, and sine of x to each side, when cosine of x equals sine of x. The only time that can happen is at 45 degrees, because they're both, I'll draw a picture here. Here's sine, here's cosine. The pictures, and so we can see it only happens here, which is at 45 degrees, or pi over 4. Or here, which is actually negative 45 degrees. I want to make sure I was careful about what I said. That's pi over 4. Also the same in quadrant 3. 45 degrees into quadrant 3. So there's 145, 245, 345, 445, 545's in. Those are the two values where this function can be equal to 0. So I'm going to put those spots on there. And I'm just using plus and minus signs now to help me out. So what I need to know now is if in this interval, if the graph goes up or if the graph goes down. Right now this is my min. If the graph goes down, this will be my new min. So how do I check if the graph goes down? I have to find the derivative at pi over 4 at 45. So I can, oh wait, not at pi over 4. I have to find the derivative somewhere in this interval between 0 and 45. So I'm going to look at the graphs of sine and cosine. In the first quadrant is cosine. In the second quadrant, first quadrant, sorry, is sine. They have the same value at pi over 4. Okay. So before that, cosine is worth more than sine. Cosine is worth more than sine. So that means that this quantity is going to be positive. So in here it's positive and increasing. That means in this interval, it's negative, so the graph goes down. And after that, cosine is bigger than sine, so it's going to be positive. So the graph here can go up. So our only options for minimums are 0 or at 5 pi over 4. Now already I can see this problem's taking a long time. Joe's looking at me like, I got the first part of it, but I'm losing it a little bit on there. That's okay. This is a 4-part problem. This is part 3. If you can get the first 2 right and just a little bit of this, you're still above 5 level work. Not above 5, above 3 level work for this point. So I'm kind of getting lost in the problem here, but I know my 2 possibilities for minimums are at f equals 0. And now also at f equals 5 pi over 4. So I'm going to put 5 pi over 4 in. It equals e to the 5 pi over 4 times the cosine of 5 pi over 4. That number isn't really that important, Joe. It's just the sign of it. I'm going to come over here. So here is, I'm looking for cosine. Right? Cosine of 5 pi over 4 is going to be, cosine of 5 pi over 4 is going to be negative. So that means that, this is the minimum because this value is negative at f equals 5 pi over 4. That's our minimum value. Oof, that one was hard. Last part. Let's take a look. Okay, so the graph they're giving me is g prime of x, which is right here. And they're asking me about, say that g of pi over 2 is 0. I'm going to find the value of the limit as x approaches pi over 2 of f of x over g of x. So when we want to find the limit, we just put our numbers in, and we go from there. Okay, what is the value of, I need f of pi over 2 over g over pi over 2. Well, they told me g over pi over 2 is 0. Because I have limits here, Joe, I know that that top one is also going to be 0. Because they're going to want me to get 0 over 0. I will put pi over 2 into this original function. The cosine of pi over 2, the cosine of 90 is 0. So this whole thing is 0. Okay, so I have a limit where I did not get a number back. I got an indeterminate value. Limits determinate, we're just going to L'Hopital it. So it's the same as the derivative of the top over the derivative of the bottom. Prime of x over g prime of x. Okay, so g prime of pi over 2. I'll go to the graph. Here's pi over 2. G prime is 2. And now I've got to put pi over 2 back into the derivative of f, which is, so we're putting in pi over 2 into each of these things here. Now, the cosine of 90 is 0, so this whole piece is gone. The sine of 90 is 1 times a negative 1, so it equals negative e to the pi over 2. We can write that down just like that. And there's our answer. Okay, I know it was a complicated video. If you can get through the first 2 parts, awesome. If you can follow the last 2 parts, great. Have a good day.